everyone, it's Bulldog, and there was just some new news announced, and I happen to be recording another video, and I thought, hey, why not give my first reactions on this brand new character that they've revealed, the Geonosian Brood Alpha. And I don't normally do these types of videos, but I was here, so I thought I could do this real quick, and we'll see what happens. So there's probably going to be a bunch of Geo reworks. I shouldn't say probably. There might be a bunch of Geo reworks. We know that Geonosian Spy is going to get reworked. They've already modified him a little bit, so some of this might change. We don't know exactly how everything is going to play out, but I'll give my initial reactions to this. My first reaction is this team looks like it's finally going to be a lot of fun. Geos have pretty much been terrible in the past. I've actually got mine nearly maxed out. I'm just missing the G12 plus pieces on the three main Geos. We'll see. Poggle, I'm not sure how. I hope he's getting a rework. My guess is he's going to get a rework because he just doesn't seem all that useful. He's got a bunch of droid synergy, but now that we don't need to use him with droids, I'm not sure that's all that great. So I'm hoping he's getting a complete redo. But we're just going to treat this right now as if nothing else is getting redone. We've also got Wat Tambor that's being added, who's a separatist who might play a role in this. He's listed as a possible squad in the synergy here by CG, so that could come into play too. But let's first just look at his abilities. He's got a shield bash on basic, which just looks like basic damage here, and then you dispel all debuffs on a critical hit. Nothing mind blowing there. Next one is this AoE attack. So you're going to dispel all buffs on all enemies, deal physical damage to all enemies, and expose them for 2 turns, and then remove turn meter from debuffed enemies, which it looks like is going to be most of them because they're going to get exposed. So unless they resist that or have some sort of tenacity, you have to resist it or something like that. You're going to be removing turn meter most of the time. Pretty solid attack. This third special here is probably going to be one of the big ones. So you're going to dispel all debuffs on the Geo allies, and then summon a Geonosian Brute. So for the first time, we're actually going to be summoning characters, which is really cool in my opinion. We'll see how it actually plays out, but the idea is pretty cool. And he's going to summon him if there's not. If there is an ally spot available. If there's not an ally spot, he's going to gain critical damage up and offense up. You'll see here in just a second that spot will be filled from the start. Then all Geos gain 15% turn meter and recover 35% health and protection. And this is only on a cooldown of 3. So that's going to be I think the big time ability there. That's a pretty good ability. The leader. So all Geo allies are going to gain 15,000 health and protection. I think this is the first time that we've had a buff where it's just a flat amount. It's usually a percent. I don't recall anybody else getting just a flat amount like this. It feels more like a territory wars bonus or something than anything else. But they also get 50% health steal. And then they're going to recover 3% protection whenever they use a basic ability, which we'll see is going to be a lot. You've already they're going to assist here all the time. And then they're going to deal 10% more damage for each buffed enemy on their basics, which since they're assisting, they're using their basics. So that could be huge, especially when facing a team that gets a lot of buffs, maybe a light side squad or something like that. So the unique. So here's the kicker right here. This Queen's Will. Geo Brood Alpha has plus 60% tenacity. All Geo allies have this Hive Mind buff, which can't be dispelled or prevented. Whenever another Geo ally is defeated, reduce the cooldown of conscription by 1. At the start of each encounter, summon a Geo Brute who taunts for 1 turn. So they now have a pre-taunt, which has almost become a must. There's so many teams out there that can just destroy you if you don't have a pre-taunt. Although in this team it might not be as huge as others, because if you see this high mind, they're going to constantly equalize health and protection. So whenever a Geo ally uses an ability during their turn, if you have Hive Mind, you're going to assist, which is going to be all the Geos. So that's where you're going to get a lot of your assist, and then whenever they use an ability, they're going to equalize health and protection. So you basically have to take them all down at once is kind of what it sounds like. So and they did recommend when attacking this team to use a lot of AOE damage. So that could be that's going to be a completely different way to attack teams. Normally, you go after the most dangerous enemy first, and you take these guys down one at a time. That's going to be harder here. So with between this Geo Brute and Sunfac, you're going to have two taunters to get around. So it's I'm thinking you might want to stack defense on these guys because they're going to keep equalizing health and protection as you're going through them. So you stack defense on your taunters instead of the normal stacking them with health and protection. Stack crit avoidance as well, because they're going to share all that damage with the rest of the team. So that, I mean, yes, having max health or max protection will definitely be big, because that health, I'm assuming the way they equalize health is the same as it's always been in the past, where you equalize percentages. So if you have more protection, you'll be at a, even if when you take damage, your protection percent will be higher. So that can be key in sharing that percentage. But still, I think defense and crit avoidance might be more important than usual on these characters. But we'll have to see how it plays out. And then this Geo Brute, you can see some of the abilities here. He's going to taunt on his basic, which is going to make it very hard to keep taunt off of him, especially with all these assists that are generating. Unless you've got some sort of buff immunity, it's going to be hard to keep them from taunting. He's got a special that calls a mass assist. He gets a lot of offense when paired in the Geo squad, especially with the Brood Alpha's one of those specials up here. If my thing, well, yeah, critical damage up and offense up for 2 turns. So we haven't seen the damage numbers yet, so I'm not sure how much that's going to play in. But even if, regardless of that, constantly tanking as an additional ally. So this is an ally off the side that you're basically playing 6-on-5 with to start the match. So having them taunt and is really going to be helpful. Looks like the stats scale with what says the summoner's stats. I'm not sure what that means, if that means they get the same stats or if it's just percentage. So as you increase the protection of one, the protection of another jumps up, but not at the same, maybe the same rate, but not necessarily the same base. I don't know exactly what was going to happen. It can't be revived, but it looks like it can be called again from what I understand. So even once it's defeated, you can bring it back. Although it seems like once you defeat one of these, you're pretty much going to be defeating all of them. We'll have to see exactly how it goes. But when they're constantly equalizing health like that, their health and protection are going to stay similar throughout the battle. So we've got these synergies here. Although I'm kind of curious. I initially thought of the first synergy that really came to mind was not anybody on this list, and some of these can definitely be good. Dooku could be huge, especially if so we talk about how you want AoE damage. Well, Dooku is going to counter a ton, so he's going to punish you for delivering those AoEs. So that I can definitely see Dooku being huge there, playing a huge role. His leadership. So again, if we go back up to Alpha's leadership here, it's more the unique that brings this huge hive mind ability than it is the leader. So yes, you get a lot more survivability with that extra health and protection. The health steal can really make things a pain whenever, I mean, you get down to that health and then everybody's assisting and recovering their health with all that damage that they can do on basics. I can definitely see how that can be a pain, and they recover the extra protection. So I think that's a good leader ability. But if the counter to this is to use AoE squads, then bringing out Dooku, who's going to give all the separatists a counter chance, he's going to counter himself. So I feel like that could really play against the typical counter teams. So that I definitely see some good synergy there. Wat Tambor we don't know anything about. Geo Soldier feels like I wonder if he's going to get well, I mean, they reworked Spy. They already talked about toning down his turn meter gain, but Soldier gains 50% turn meter every time he crits. So with all of these off these critical hits, if you mod him so he's near 100% crit damage, he's going to go all the time, and he's got pretty good damage as well. So Soldier seems like he's really going to be a beast on this team. I wonder if they're going to back that turn meter down. I don't really know, but it does seem like he's going to be a beast. But I'm jumping around here. The character that I really am intrigued with is actually Droideka. So Droideka we'll kind of switch over. Here we go. Switch over to this ability. So Droideka's got decent damage on basic. We see a 5.5k damage here, and then does additional damage if his speed is low. So he can basically do damage twice. So he can do pretty good damage on basic. Mod him to be, I don't know if you want him to be fast, so he can get this damage immunity up, or slow, so that his turn with damage immunity takes longer. But look at this, and this is tied to his Zeta. But look at this Zeta ability. So if Droideka has damage immunity, it has minus 50% speed and 35% chance to assist, and he does deal 50% ledge damage when he assists, but still his damage is pretty good to make up for that. And this is whenever a Separatist ally uses an ability, and it says limit once per turn. It's once per turn, but it doesn't have to be on that ally's turn, so it can be anytime. So if we're gonna get a bunch of counters, Sunfat can counter, the Brute has a huge counter chance, and you're getting all these assists. So a 35% chance isn't that high, so you don't see him taking that assist all the time on like your Grievous team. But here, where you're getting all these assists, where you might have five of their characters or 5 of their attacks during that turn, using an ability that is a counter, that is a basic assist. So you can get him assisting on top of these Geos all the time, and it's going to be hard to get this damage immunity off of him, because as I said, you've got Brute that's taunting, you've got Sunfac that's taunting. You're going to basically have to have an AoE dispel. You're not going to be able to dispel with a direct attack, because you're just not going to be able to target him. So I think that could really work out well. B2 works out on almost any squad. B1, I think there's a lot of pretty good options there with these Separatists. So I'm not sure what the best combo is going to be, but this looks like a team that's going to be fun to play around with. Having even mentioned Newt, using Newt's lead, especially on offense, really basically confuses the AI. They have no idea how to handle it. So that's always a good option. So I think I'm not sure. I think we're gonna have. I don't know what the best fifth is going to be outside of. I don't think Poggle's still going to be that useful. Not that he's going to be bad, because he's still going to get all these assists. But again, a lot of his synergy is with droids, which you don't see. I don't think you're going to see much of those in there. You do have some Separatist droids, but I hope he's getting a rework. But without him, I think you're going to need a different fifth. But whether it's Dooku, Gunray, Droideka, B2, B1, all of those seem like very good options. And I don't think this team's going to be meta. I can't see it beating Darth Revan. The damage there is just so high. Whenever you get shock, you can still get AoE damage from Fallen Bastila. Darth Revan has his AoE damage. His fear is going to shut down all the assists. You can't pull assist against Darth Revan himself. So I don't think this team is going to be able to beat Darth Revan. I'd certainly like to give it a try, but I don't think it's going to be that good. I think it's going to be a quality second tier team that honestly is just going to be a lot of fun to play with. So I'm very excited about this, partially because I've got 3 of the 4 Geos at G12 already, so I'm sure I'm a little biased there. But they in Grand Arena they're mostly just hanging out, not doing anything except inflating my GP. So I'm very excited that they're actually going to have a use. Kind of how a lot of people have been with clones. I did get my clones, or started to get my clones geared up because I think they'll be fun. Haven't quite gotten there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I'm excited to see if there's more reworks coming or anything. So I don't have too much else to add. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see. If you think I should do more of these reaction videos, then be sure to leave me comments. Check me out on Discord, all that fun stuff. We'll see how everything goes. I'm excited for the. I did a video not too long ago. Basically I did because I was kind of bored with the game, to be honest. I was getting a little burnt out, didn't have a lot to do, and I'm starting to get excited again because we've got a bunch of these new teams that are good and fun to play with, but they're not meta breaking, and that's really what I like to see. I don't feel like they're characters that I want to farm, but I don't feel like I'm going to be behind or miss out or any of that thing. I don't feel like I'm forced to farm them. So that is a good approach in my opinion. I like that. So we'll see. I bet these guys are going to be big in territory battles too. So I'm looking forward to all of this in the next update. Should be a fun next few weeks to see all of this. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. Come hang out with me on Discord, Twitter, wherever. Have a good night.